Hello students, so how are you? So today we are going to discuss our lecture second of electrostatic. In previous lecture of electrostatic we have already discussed about charge, what is the charge and how the charge can be defined and what are the units of charge and what is the value of charge. So we have discussed all about this. Now in lecture 2 today we are going to discuss about property of charge. There are 5 properties of charge, but in your NCERT book only 3 properties are given. So let's see what are the properties of charge. Properties of charge. That is the first property of charge is that charge is always conserved. Charge is always conserved. So this is the first property of charge. Charge is always conserved. But how the charge is always conserved? To understand it, I am taking an example here. You can see NaCl. NaCl, as you can see, there is a compound of Na and Cl. When it breaks, then we can say Na plus Cl minus. Okay, as you can see, it break in two parts, Na plus and Cl minus. Here is the positive charge on Na, here is the negative charge on Cl. As we can see, before reaction, there is no charge. That means total charge is 0. Is it clear? Total charge is 0. After the reaction, it have plus 1 charge. For Cl, we can write here minus 1. So, after reaction, please tell me the total charge on the system. After reaction, the total charge on the system is it. So what is it? Plus 1 minus 1. So total is 0. So as we can see, before reaction the total charge is 0 and after reaction the total charge on the system is 0. Is it clear? How the charge can be conserved. This is the first property of charge. Okay. Now we are going to our second property. Charge is quantized. Charge is quantized. What is the meaning of quantized? To understand it, we can take an example here. Suppose there is a plain paper. And we can break this paper in multiple parts. But when we are going to break the paper in multiple parts, then the size of each part should be same. Size of each part should be same. So let's see. First we break this from the middle. Now from here. Now we can break it from here. Now from here. Now from here. And now from here. you can assume that each part have the same dimensions. Each part have the same dimensions of this paper. Now, I place the total charge Q on this paper. We suppose that the total charge Q is placed on this paper. Okay, so now let's assume that in this part there is only unit charge. In this part there is only unit charge. What is the unit charge? Unit charge is the charge on the electron or the proton. Unit charge is the charge on an electron or a proton. So we can see here, this is our one block, and in this block the total charge is unit charge. Here the total charge is unit charge. Here the total charge is unit charge. Here is E, here is E, here is E, and in all the blocks there will be E. This is the unit charge. So what we have done, we have taken in simple paper and we break the simple paper in multiple parts, and each part having the same dimensions. Clear? When each part having the same dimension, then each part having same number of charge, or we can say same amount of charge, and the amount of charge is unit charge, that is E. In each block there is the same amount of charge. Here is E, here is E, here is E, here is E. So if we find out the total charge in terms of E, then what we have to write here? If you find out the total charge Q in this condition, then what we have to write here? We have to write here Q equals to N E. What we have to write? We have to write Q equals to N into E. What is the N? N is the number of blocks. How many number of blocks are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. There are 16 number of blocks, or we can say 16 number of quanta. These are called quantas. These blocks are called quanta. Is it clear? And one quanta having the value of unit charge. Is it clear to you? So we can write here Q equals to NE if number of blocks or number of quantas are 16, then Q will be 16E. And what is the total value of Q? We can say here Q equals to 16 into the value of E is 1.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb, and we can write here Q equals to 16 into 16. 16 into 16, 256. What is the value of 16 into 16? 256. So we can write here 256, and there is one point here for decimal, 25.6 into 10 to the power minus 19 Coulomb. This is the total value of charge on this paper. So I hope you understand it, that what is the meaning of quantization. What is the meaning of quantization? Is it clear? Okay, so now let's we discuss our third property of charge. Our third property is charge is invariant. Charge is invariant. What is the meaning of invariant? Invariant means which does not vary. With others. What is the meaning of invariant? The meaning of invariant means which does not vary with others. How can we understand it? To understand it, I am taking an example. Suppose here is a car, okay, and there is a charge placed on the surface of the car, that is Q. If car's speed is going to vary. Suppose here the speed of car is 20 km per hour. After some time, the velocity or speed of car is 30 km per hour. Then, in this condition, the velocity is going to be changed, but the charge value is not going to be changed. It will not change. So it is invariant with others. Is it clear? What is the property of charge of invariant? So we are going to our next step. Fourth property of charge. Charge is transferable. Charge is transferable. That means you can transfer the charge from one body to another. You can transfer the charge from one body to another. To understand it, we can see here, this is the body A and this is the body B. Suppose this body having the charge Q1 and the value of Q1 is Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3. For take an example, and on the body B there is a charge Q2, that is Q1 dash plus Q2 dash. Is it clear? In initial condition, there is a charge Q1, Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 on particle A, and on particle B there is a charge Q2 equals to Q1 dash plus Q2 dash. Okay. After some time, what happened? Body A transferred the charge Q3 to body B. So when this charge is going to be transferred, then it will add here Q3, or we can now remove from here. So we can say after transfer the charge, it is the Q1 dash and it is Q2 dash. So we can see here there is a total charge Q1 dash equals to Q1 plus Q2 after transfer the charge, and on the B there is a total charge Q2 dash equals to Q1 dash plus Q2 dash plus Q3 after transfer the charge. So we are going to discuss our fifth property of charge. What is the fifth property of charge? Additivity of charge. Additivity of charge. What is the meaning of additivity? The meaning of additivity is very simple. Additivity means simple addition. Okay? Additivity means simple addition. As we can see here, there are many objects, object A, object B, object C and object D. Suppose this is the system. This is the system. And in this system, on the body A, the charge is plus 5 E. Here the charge is plus 2E. Here the charge is minus 1E, and here the charge is minus 2E. Is it clear? There are different values of charge on individual particles. If I am going to find out the total charge on the system, then we have to add these individual charges. If we want to find total charge on the system, then we have to add these individual charges. Suppose this is a charge Q1, this is charge Q2, this is charge Q3, and this is charge Q4. Then we can write here the total charge Q is Q1 plus Q2 plus Q3 plus Q4, and this is called additivity of charges. Is it clear? Additivity of charges for the system. So we can write here Q1 is equals to plus 5E, Q2 equals to plus 2E, Q3 equals to minus 1E, Q4 equals to minus 2E. Then we can say the total charge is 4E. Is it clear, students? Now you have understand about additivity. Our one property of charge is also there, that is attraction or repulsion. As we can see, attract opposite charges and repel like charges. Suppose there are four conditions. The first condition is plus, that is positive charge. There are two particles, body A and body B. Body A having positive charge and body B having positive charge. Then these will repel each other. Body A having negative charge and body B having positive charge, then they attract to each other. Body A having positive charge and body B having negative charge, then they attract to each other. And when body A having negative charge and body B having negative charge, then they repel each other. So these are the four conditions of opposite charge and like charge. Like charge repel each other, and unlike charge or opposite charge attract each other. This is the another properties of charge. There are many methods of charging, and we will discuss about 5 methods of charging. So I am giving here the information of methods of charging. What are the methods of charging? The first one is rubbing, or we can say friction. Second method is conduction, and the third method is induction, and the fourth method is thermionic emission, and fifth one is photoelectric emission. So there are 5 methods of charging, but generally we only follow only 3 methods of charging, that are friction, conduction and induction. In your NCERT book only 3 methods are there. There is no method of thermal emission and photoelectric emission. So if you are going to read in NCERT, there are only 3 topics for charging. Okay, so first we discuss about friction. Is it clear? First one is friction. What is the friction? To understand the friction, I am taking here a glass rod . This is the glass rod and I am taking here a silk cloth also . This is our silk cloth and this is our glass rod. Now what we will do, we rub the glass rod with the silk cloth. What we will do? We rub the glass rod with the silk cloth. When we rub the glass rod with the silk cloth, then what will happen? The electrons on the surface of this glass rod and on this cloth will exchange each other. How? The glass rod having electrons on the surface, suppose these are the electrons on the surface of glass rod, when it is rubbed by silk cloth, then these electrons move to the silk cloth . Okay, when these electrons move to the silk cloth, then number of electrons will be greater here. As the number of electrons will be greater here, the charge on the silk cloth will be negative. What is the charge will be occur on the silk cloth? Negative charge will be occur on the silk cloth. Okay, because the number of electrons are greater than the before condition. So here will be negative charge, here will be negative charge on silk cloth and here will be positive charge on glass rod, because number of electrons are less than previous condition. So it will get positive charge and it will get negative charge. So how the friction work, you can understand it. Okay. Now our second method is conduction. Now we will see our second method, that is conduction. What is the conduction? To understand the conduction, I am taking here two bodies. Here is the one body that is A, and here is another body, that is B. On the body A, there are positive charges on this body, and this body is neutral. This body is neutral, okay, and this body is charged. For conduction, at least one body must be charged. It is the condition for conduction. So here is the body A is charged and B is neutral, or we can say it is the uncharged body. Now we want to charge this uncharged body. If we want to charge this uncharged body, then we will connect this body A to this body B by a conducting wire. We will connect this body A to this body B by a conducting wire. As we connect these bodies by conducting wire, then the charge will transfer on this uncharged body. And what amount of charge will transfer on the body B? It depends on the potential on the body B and body A. What amount of charge will be transferred on the body B depend on the potential of body B and body A. And we will talk later about potential. So you can understand it here that for conduction we have to connect both the bodies for charging. Either you can connect by conducting wire or you may touch them with each other. So there are two possibilities of conduction. First one is you have to connect with conducting wire, and the second one is you can touch to each other physically. Okay, these are the two conditions of conductions. Is it clear? When the charge will transfer to body B, then suppose only 3 charge will be transferred. When 3 charge will transfer to body B, then it will distribute here like as. And after transferring the charge, these charges also distribute uniformly on this body. It will not remain here as previously these are placed here. Okay, it will move or shift uniformly on this body. So these charge will come here, this 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 is here, this here, this charge will come here, and this charge will come here. So students, this is the process of conduction. So students, today we are going to finish this lecture. In next lecture, we will discuss about method of charging that are remaining. The remaining method of charging are, the first one is induction, second one is thermal emission, and third one is photoelectric emission. So thank you very much. If you have any query, then you can ask us and you can comment us in the link given below. All the link to chat us, to contact us are given below in the description. So please check it and contact us for any query. Thank you very much.
वीडियो देखने के लिए हम आपका धन्यवाद करते हैं। हमारी संस्था विद्यार्थियों को YouTube के माध्यम से निःशुल्क शिक्षा प्रदान करती है। अगर आपको ये वीडियो अच्छी लगी हो तो इसे अधिक से अधिक लोगों को शेयर कीजिए जिन्हें मुफ्त शिक्षा की आवश्यकता है। हमारी संस्था IIT JEE नीट कक्षा 11 कक्षा 12 CBSE या स्टेट बोर्ड में अध्ययन कर रहे विद्यार्थियों को फिजिक्स वीडियो लेक्चर उपलब्ध कराती है। आप हमें इंस्टाग्राम, ट्विटर और फेसबुक अकाउंट पर भी फॉलो कर सकते हैं। IIT JEE नीट CBSE और स्टेट बोर्ड से संबंधित सूचना तथा वीडियो लेक्चर्स की जानकारी के लिए हमारे टेलीग्राम ग्रुप को ज्वाइन कीजिए। सभी लिंक्स नीचे डिस्क्रिप्शन में दिए गए हैं।